Welcome to Mahipati Talks. Today is a special day. As you all know that today is September 5th, celebrated as Teachers' Day. We are glad and happy that we have got a special guest here on the occasion of this Teachers' Day, who has got a lot of laurels, who has got a lot of experience, and she is my mentor, guide, and she has trained a number of people. And today we are going to know how and what are the areas that we need to focus, especially when it comes to the teachers and the students. And we are also aware that what is the topic that we are going to talk. The most important thing is that the art of effective teaching and learning. And we have got today's guest, Chinna Devi Singadi, Dr. S. Chinna Devi. And it's my privilege to introduce Chinna Devi ma'am. She's working as assistant professor at IFLU, English and Foreign Languages University at Hyderabad, the Department of Indian and World Literatures, the School of Literary Studies. Ma'am has pursued as her PhD in American fiction, title thesis Art Hunts for Avenues to Life, a study of John Gardner's novels. And ma'am has done her PG diploma in teaching of English, PG certificate in teaching of English from IFLU, and a MA English from Sri Krishna Deva Raya University in Andhra Pradesh. And she did her Bachelor of Arts majored in English and intermediate Goa Board of Higher Secondary School certificate MSSC Maths, Biology, Physics, and Chemistry. She pursued her SSC, studied French as third language, Goa Board of Secondary School certificate. Ma'am has been very active in the arena of the academics and especially in the field of education. She was a visiting fellow at uh, Technische Universität Dresden, Germany. I'm sorry if I spelled wrong, I pardon.
That's
Under the DAD schedule from May to July 2013, where she offered two comprehensive courses in the area of post-colonial studies titled Glimpses of India and Reading India, as well as several sessions on contemporary Indian cinema designed to showcase the best of Bollywood cinema. Ma'am has got a lot of publications in the area of literature. Uh, and also, she has published a book. She's not only an academician, she's also a poet. Uh, she has published a book on poems, no Prem Ishq, and we'll be talking in detail when we talk to ma'am. And she's completed many projects, and she's been a research scholar, guiding many scholars. And thank you very much, Dr. Chinna Devi ma'am, for having accepted to deliver a special talk on the occasion of this Teachers' Day. Welcome to
my pleasure.
Mahipati Talks, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Mahipati, for this wonderful introduction. That's very kind of you. Um, to begin with, I would like to talk to you about the importance of this day when we have decided to organize this talk for our viewers who are teachers, listeners, and of course, professionals from other uh, fields of study and other backgrounds. Um, it's nice to celebrate or have or nominate a particular day for celebrating the services of teachers across the world and show our gratitude to them and emphasize the importance of a teacher in making this world a better place for all of us, you know. And the very fact that when a child is born, the first people the child meets is its parents, the mother, father, and the next big personality that enters its life is the teacher. And my dad used to always say that there are three important people in life who make us what we are. The father, the mother, and the teacher. Of course, our traditional texts, the Sanskrit texts also talk about these contributions made by parents and teachers in making us better people, in making us who we are, and they are responsible for our success stories. But if I come out from if we come away from that traditional system of the Guru Shishya Parampara that we talk about, the times in which we live today have kind of shown us a different perspective to this Guru Shishya Parampara. Earlier, the Guru used to teach, the teacher. Guru means the teacher. So the teacher used to teach and the student used to learn. But these times that we live in, the 21st century, and when we come away from the modern age and enter the postmodern era, and if you like, critics are already calling this a postmodern era probably also. What I notice in my everyday experience in dealing with my students, especially over the last 20 years, I would say, is that the teacher also has become a learner, which is why I titled this session, The Art of Effective Teaching / Learning. A good teacher is always a good learner, or shall we say a perennial learner. So a teacher is a learner, and the learners that you meet today, I believe personally, in my opinion, they are our teachers. It's like two sides of the same coin. The teaching and the learning are so fluid. You cannot draw the line between who the teacher is and the student is. You cannot, no more that line can be drawn, because the postmodern age, we also call it the age of information, the age of social media. You have the Facebook and so on and so forth, you know all of it. So what is happening is the learners have access to a lot of information, probably more than the teacher herself. So what happens when you have a discussion in the class, the students are already in the know-how of what the information is. So it has kind of, we have come it has taken a 180-degree angle, you know. We have come a long way away from the Guru Shishya Parampara. Of course, the affinity, the respect, that element of it is, of course, there. I'm not denying that. But the exchange of information is now not one way or two ways between the teacher and the student, but it is very pluralistic. It is between the students, between the teacher, between the teachers and the students. So it is both ways. So it is very pluralistic. And this is a kind of a community that, thanks to the postmodern era in which we live, this has become possible, and which is why we are trying to make, uh, digitize our libraries. We have access to e-books. We have access to the Kindle stores where we get books on the laptops. So all this is enabling our students to become teachers of the teacher. So I think that's how we relate to our students these days. Personally, at least I feel that every day I enter the classroom, I learn as well as I teach and come back.
Thank you very much. Now you are given no, what is the difference between both era and earlier and now? What are the areas that have been improved? And there are many changes, as you rightly said that there's a saying by earlier it was like sage on the stage. Now we are talking about guide by the side. Okay. Thank you very much, Andy. Now, what is your suggestion for the teachers as it is a Teachers' Day? So as you rightly said that now students are sometimes more information is available more with them than the teachers, and learning, as you said that even we learn from them sometimes when we enter the class. What kind of relationship can we expect from the teachers who have been on the traditional method? Now they need to move to the modern method of teaching. Can you suggest something to the teachers who are in the transition from the traditional mode to the modern method, what we call today? Not a teacher, they say that facilitator and all.
As far as the senior teachers who do not have access to much of the technology, I would say they must be probably having a difficult time to, cope with these technological changes, and or fidget with the laptops, or even use the email, or simple things like using the email or watching videos on YouTube is a challenging task for some teachers who have no access or very minimal access to getting used to these new ways of communication, new patterns of communication. So I think it will take some time. We cannot jump from one to the other overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. But in addition to the existing changes that were happening in our lives, as far as the great invention of the World Wide Web, the internet. And I think this is the most brilliant and the most blessed age we are living through. We are the most blessed, I should say, generation of mankind ever. Because the age of information in which we live today, the access to internet, the access to World Wide Web, at the switch of a button, you can do anything and everything. And we are also into artificial thinking now, and I think this is the best thing to happen to mankind from the beginning of time, I would say. We used to earlier think or look back to the Renaissance or the Industrial Revolution and say that, yeah, those were the big, revolution, the change in, the life of mankind. They brought about a big change in the way mankind looked at life, looked at themselves, and the kind of communities we had at that time, and the kind of philosophies that came out at that period of time. But I think there has never been a period like this, and we are the most blessed one. To the
Thank you.
teachers who are now dealing with this kind of, especially in times of COVID, we are all struggling to, we are all sailing in the same boat. We are trying to fidget with the Zoom and Google Meet and what to click, where it goes, where the screen suddenly disappears. We can't see somebody, we can't hear somebody. So I think all this is part of the transition period, so we need not worry much, but the best way out of it is to keep doing more of it. So keep doing it, and it's very easy. It's very easy. Do not be, in awe of these technologies, because they're very user friendly. And I would tell all the teachers to be very positive of the entry of the new technologies into their lives, and welcome it and learn it, and own it, and there's no stopping us.